The right to independence means freedom from control by other state or group of states, and yet freedom from the restrictions that are binding on all states, forming the family of nations, and carries with it by necessary implication the correlative duty of non-intervention. Intervention is an act by which a state interferes with domestic or foreign affairs of another state through employment of force or threat of force, which may be physical, political, or economic. Every state has the right to equality. The right to equality is underpinned in the doctrine of equality of states, which provides that all states are equal in international law despite of their obvious factual inequalities as to size, population, wealth, strength, and degree of civilization. In effect, when a question arises which has to be settled by consent, every state has a right to one vote only. The vote of the weakest state has as much weight as the vote of the most powerful. The court of one state do not, as a rule, question the validity of the official acts of another state insofar as those acts purport to take effect within the latter's jurisdiction. Every state has the right to existence and self-defense. The right to existence and self-defense provides that a state may take measures including the use of force as may be necessary to counteract any danger to its existence. Aggression pertains to the use of armed force by a state against the sovereignty, territorial integrity, or political independence of another state, or in any other manner inconsistent with the character of the United Nations. For a proper exercise of self-defense, the following must exist. An armed attack occurred against a member of the UN, it must be confined to cases in which the necessity of self-defense is instant, overwhelming, and leaving no choice of means and no moment for deliberation. Measures taken must be limited by that necessity and kept clearly within it, and must give way to measures that may be taken by the UN Security Council to maintain international peace and security. Collective self-defense pertains to the right of states to come to the defense of another state, whose situation meets the condition of legitimate individual self-defense. Anticipatory self-defense is when the use of force in anticipation of an attack is deemed legal if made in good faith, depending on the circumstances of imminent danger. Every state has the right to territorial integrity and jurisdiction. The right to territorial integrity and jurisdiction encompasses the right of the state to its terrestrial, maritime, and fluvial, aerial, and space covered by its territory. Every state has the right to legation. The right to legation pertains to the right of the state to send and receive diplomatic missions which enable states to carry on friendly intercourse. Nationality. Nationality is a legal bond having as its basis a social fact of attachment, a genuine connection of existence, interests, and sentiments, together with the existence of reciprocal rights and duties. It is for each state to determine under its own rules who are its nationals. This law shall be recognized by other states insofar as it is inconsistent with international conventions, international customs, and the principles of law generally recognized with regard to nationality. Under the UN Declaration of Human Rights, everyone has a right to a nationality, and that no one is to be arbitrarily deprived of their nationality or denied the right to change their nationality. Multiple nationalities may exist when an individual possesses more than one nationality and was acquired as the result of concurrent application to him or her to conflicting national laws of two or more states claiming him as their national. In the Philippines, nationality can be acquired through birth, naturalization, repatriation, subjugation, and cession. It can be lost through release, deprivation, renunciation, and substitution. Statelessness pertains to the status of having no nationality as a consequence of being born without any nationality or as a result of deprivation or loss of nationality. Statelessness adversely affects a person's right to exercise rights and privileges usually enjoyed by citizens of a state, such as employment, right to work, right to property, right to education, among others. Also, any wrong or injury suffered by a stateless person through the act or omission of a state would or damage without injury. For in theory, no state has been offended and no international delict committed. International conventions provide that stateless individuals are to be treated more or less like the subjects of a foreign state. The Philippines has neither signed nor ratified the 1961 conventions on the recognition of statelessness. Refugees. A refugee is a person who, owing to a well founded fear of being persecuted for reasons of race, nationality, religion, membership of a particular social group, or political opinion, is outside the country of his nationality and is unable, or owing to such fear, is unwilling to avail himself of the protection of that country. It includes stateless persons who are outside the country of his habitual residence and is unable, or owing to such fear, is unwilling to return to it. The Convention relating to the status of refugees provides that states have an obligation to treat a person as a refugee without any discretion and afford the rights due to them. The principle of non-refoulement. The principle of non-refoulement is a principle wherein, in addition to not returning the refugee to his or her own state, he or she must not be sent to a third state if his or her life or freedom would there be threatened on account of his or her race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or social opinion. Salient rights of refugees are non-discrimination, wage earning, employment, free access to courts, duty of non-refoulement of states, self-employment, housing, freedom of religion, among others.